Hello, hello. Welcome to Cash Practice Training Tuesdays. Welcome. Thank you so much, as always, for joining, whether you're showing up live or you're watching this in the replay. Please let me know in the comments. I always like to know who's coming to check it out on the replay. Today, I had actually literally just 10 minutes ago got off the phone. I was going to be talking about something else in today's, and then I just got off the phone with a prospective patient. I thought, you know what, this is actually going to be a topic I'd rather go through. And this patient turned out to be, or prospective patient turned out to be a Medicare beneficiary. But I just kind of wanted to walk you through the process and just tell you the story, because I think there's a lot of little, golden nugget lessons learned that you can learn and apply to your practice when people are calling in or training your staff as well. So first and foremost, I do have staff who's taking all of our calls. And right now, as we just brought her on, and as we're doing a lot of training, until I really have listened to the call recordings and feel like she's fully trained to try and make these conversions happen on the phone when people call in, whether it's a conversion to a full paying customer or a conversion to a free consultation. Her job is to get them on the phone with me, get them scheduled for a phone consult with me, and to get certain information. And so she did a great job on this one. She, kind of explained what he had said about, the situation, how he came to find us. It was actually a direct referral from an orthopedist who's, insurance based. And I knew going into it, it was going to be an interesting one because we don't get a ton of direct orthopedic referrals or referrals from physicians who, are completely insurance based. But she loves our work and sent him our way. And so just going into it, I kind of knew that they didn't have any conversation about rates or Medicare or any of that kind of stuff. She's not really doing that yet. I'm having her let me have those conversations. And so when I got on the phone with him, and she had mentioned in her notes to me that he couldn't do this morning's spot that I had available because he was going to be doing a round of golf. And so once we said hello, I said, well, how was that round of golf this morning? He was like, oh, wow, you guys are really on it, And so we kind of immediately got into how his knee was feeling in relation to that thing that he loves so much. And he had actually heard it playing tennis, but made note to, again, my administrator, was really extracting all the right details of what's truly important. And for him, yes, he wants to play tennis again, but his real big thing is making sure that he can continue to walk 18 holes. She had said he sounded like he might be older. He might be a Medicare beneficiary. We weren't really sure. But I purposely did not bring up the insurance or Medicare component of this until we were on the phone for 15 minutes. And, basically the way that went was we're talking a lot about golf. We're talking a lot about tennis. We're talking a bit about his knee, what sounds like it might be going on. And then, I had two kind of points where I said, well, look, we could get started in a couple different ways. One would be, the free consultation. When you come in, it's relatively short. It's about 20 minutes. And it'd be a chance for whatever therapist you schedule with to take a look at your knee, see what they think is going on, making sure that we can help to fix it and get you back to playing golf and walking a full round without any issues. Or, we could start with a full session and do a full evaluation that would involve treatment. We could also look at your different ranges of motions and balance, the other components that would affect your golf game, and maybe build out a plan on not just how to fix your knee, but how to improve your golf game. Do you have a preference on which direction you might want to go? And he was like, oh, I really love the idea of, improving my golf game. And so we started to really talk more about like this as let's knock the knee out, but let's enter this with the idea of let's make you a way better golfer, and like take this as a blessing in disguise that you tweak your knee, because now you're going to be, reducing your swings, improving reducing your golf scores, improving your club head speed, all these things that golfers love to hear. And being able to, win those games against your buddies, because they all like to have those games. Even if they have tons of money, they're just like betting a little bit on each hole, and it always cracks me up. But at any rate, that's super important for golfers, right? To be able to have the bragging rights in the clubhouse of winning those more often than not. And so finding those things that are truly important, having those discussions and making those statements, that is what converts that call into a much more likely scenario of a conversion, right? So finally, he had chosen to go that route. He wanted to set up the full thing. He had set a time. And that at that point, I said, with Dr. So-and-so did, first I praised the doctor, and it wasn't just blowing smoke. She's one of the most brilliant orthopedists I've ever known. And I was like, good for you for finding her and working with her. And I'm just wondering, in your, interactions with her when she was, sending you our way, did she mention anything about, insurance or policies or anything like that? Or did you see any of that online? I said, no, all she said was 3 times how great you guys were. And it's like, that's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. And, so most of our patients do have insurance, but the reason that we can provide the type of care, the one-on-one care and the full-hour sessions like I described earlier, is that we are out of network with private insurances and with Medicare. Would you happen to be a Medicare beneficiary or not yet? And he said, yes, I just became a Medicare beneficiary. I said, okay, well, that kind of changes the situation a little bit. And I kind of just described the scenario of like, we do see some Medicare beneficiaries, but not many, because we can only take on physical therapy clients, people that are getting normally covered services. If they really don't want Medicare involved and are totally happy to, pay privately, because they want to work with us. They want to receive our specific services, our level of care, and they're happy for Medicare to not be involved. If you want Medicare involved, I totally understand that's your benefit. I think that it's great if you want to use it, and I can absolutely make some recommendations of places in the area that are participating with Medicare. And he was like, well, I could tell he was like torn because he wants to work with us, but he's like, in these situations, I've learned I really need to speak with my wife about this. And say, oh, absolutely. And here's, one of the learning moments from this situation as well, and from this video, is that if anyone, and because you're going to get that for Medicare and for private insurances, if you haven't had that conversation, they weren't aware of it ahead of time. A lot of times you say like, this is obviously going to be more out of pocket, and they're running the numbers in their head, and they're going to need to speak with their spouse, and that's totally fine. And so two things I like to do is, I like to give them just a little bit of talking points or guidance. Say, no problem, of course, please do. And when you speak with her, since she may or may not have been, had physical therapy before, you might want to explain how what we do is so different than your typical physical therapy, and why, we're not in the Medicare and insurance system, so that we can provide that care. And also maybe, the approach we described, you and I talked about of, we want to quickly fix the knee, but this is really about improving your golf game and making sure you can walk 18 holes and play well, for many, many years to come. So I just kind of gave her those 2 little things to chat with her about, or to include in that discussion, right? And then the second point is, and please let her know that I would love to hop on the phone with her if she has any questions, or if I could run through anything of this with her. Very happy to set that up. Just let me know. And he's like, okay, I'll call you back real soon. And as I'm recording this, I just saw that he has called back. So I'm going to end this one here and chat with my assistant and see what the next steps are. I had instructed her that he was going to be calling back soon, and let her know, that if he says no, then I still want to get on the phone with him so I can help to guide him in the right direction, but also have the ability to say, hey, once the knee is totally good and you're asymptomatic, because I've already said this to him before. I said, we do have the option where we can provide with less risk with the Medicare stuff on a private pay basis. We can provide performance and wellness services for, improving your golf game. But as long as we're treating an actual injury, that's where, we have to be careful about who we take on as patients if they're Medicare beneficiaries. So I'll have the opportunity, whether he says yes or no, to get back on the phone with him, or I'll try to, and then kind of take it from there. So we'll see what happens. If this has been helpful in any way, guys, please give me a heart or a thumbs up down there. And please do ask any questions you have in the comments below. I love seeing those questions and replying, and hoping that you guys get as much as possible out of this every week. Thanks so much. We'll see you at the next one.